Hey kids and parents and teachers, I'm NBC10 First Alert meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz, and I've been a Phillies fan my whole life, since I was your age. And I get to be at Citizens Bank Park, and a couple years ago, Weather Education Day, I got to throw out the first pitch. Right with my buddy, the Phanatic. That was a great time. And this is the ball that I got to use to throw it out. But we can't be at the park this year. I'm in my kitchen, part of my kitchen. Been here for 2 months doing the weather here every single day. But now I get to be a part of Weather Education Day again. And that's why I'm dressed like this. Phillies jersey, there's the nickname, the hat, the Phillies bow tie. Now you may wonder, where did I get that nickname, Hurricane? You see that? That's a picture of a hurricane from the space shuttle. From 1985, it was Hurricane Elena. And I chased that hurricane for 3,000 miles. And a whole week, we drove wherever that hurricane was going to go. And we took video. And I was getting blown around in the storm.
It's 10 o'clock on Saturday morning on a Labor Day weekend. We're about 5 miles from Cedar Key, Florida. The winds are blowing over 50 miles per hour.
And then that's how I got the nickname. This is the hat. This is the very hat that I used working for the Weather Channel, chasing that hurricane all over. Well, now we get to do Weather Education Day from home. And what if they asked me to do? I guess it's appropriate. I had the chance to co-write this book called Philadelphia Area Weather Book. It goes all over all of the weather that Philadelphia's had for hundreds and hundreds of years. So I guess I'm the guy to give it a quiz on Philadelphia weather. Okay, here's question number 1. What was the hottest day ever recorded in Philadelphia? Was it A, 103 degrees, B, 106, C, 109, or D, 112? Phanatic, what's your guess? The answer is B, 106 degrees on August 7th, 1918. Sorry, but nice try. Second question. What was the coldest temperature ever recorded in Philadelphia? Was it 4 below zero, 8 degrees below zero, 11 degrees below zero, or 14 degrees below zero? Phanatic, do you know? The answer is C, 11 degrees below zero. Yeah, you got it. Question number 3. When was the last time Philadelphia had an official temperature that went below zero? A, about 5 years ago. B, 10 years ago. C, 15 years ago. D, more than 25 years ago. The answer, believe it or not, is D. It was more than 25 years ago. You can see how the changing climate has made a big difference in things like that. The Philadelphia temperature has not gone below zero since 1994. Question 4. How much snow fell in Philadelphia's biggest snowstorm ever recorded? Is it A, 20 inches, B, 30 inches, C, 40 inches, D, 50 inches? The answer is B, about 30 inches. And I happen to know that because I was in the middle of it. I had just started at Channel 10 a couple months before. And then I end up trying to predict a storm. 20 to 30 inches was my final prediction. We ended up with 30. The snow was so bad. Well, we were staying at a hotel across the street because we didn't have time to go home. We were working 20 hours a day for 3 days straight. But we would have to trudge across the street with the snow this big just to get a few hours of sleep in a hotel. And then the hotel ran out of food. So we were eating out of the candy machines for the last 24 hours. Never forget that one. Question 5. How strong was the highest wind gust ever recorded in Philadelphia? Is it A, 74 miles an hour, B, 84 miles an hour, C, 94 miles an hour, or D, 104 miles an hour? Phanatic, do you know? The answer was C, 94 miles an hour. Sorry, but nice try. That was Hurricane Hazel in 1954. 94 mile an hour wind gust. Hazel tracked over Harrisburg. Didn't hit the coast. It hit North Carolina and came straight up toward Harrisburg. And we had a 94 mile an hour wind gust. I was 3 years old at the time. And I remember actually getting blown off my porch one time by a real strong wind. And I always wondered if that was the time that it happened. Because I had a porch when I was 3 years old, and Hazel hit when it was 3 years old. Question 6. What was the most rain Philadelphia has ever recorded in one day? Official. Was it A, 8 inches, B, 10 inches, C, 12 inches, or D, 14 inches? The answer is A, 8 inches. Doesn't seem like a lot, but 8 inches of rain in one day is a lot of rain. And I remember that one too, because I was at the Jersey Shore, and my boss called me up and he said, well, we need you to come back to work to try to help out because we got this horrible flood going on. Well, the weather was great at the shore. So I get in the car. It generally takes an hour to get to Philadelphia. Took me 4.5 hours because once I got close to Philly, the flooding was so bad that they cut off all the roads leading to the bridges. You couldn't get from New Jersey to Philadelphia for hours, driving through all sorts of back roads to try to find another way. And everything was closed out. That's what 8 inches in one day can do to a city. Question 7. How many tornadoes have touched down in Philadelphia since 1950? Was it A, 0, B, 3, C, 8, or D, 15? Phanatic, what's your guess? The answer is C, 8 tornadoes. Yeah, you got it. The most recent one was in 2011. Now, the thing about tornadoes in Philadelphia is that they tend to be on the weaker side. They're not like the tornadoes that hit the Midwest or the South. They'll cause damage, potentially, but that's one of the advantages of living in the Philadelphia climate, is that we rarely get any kind of really major, life-threatening tornadoes. Not to say that it's impossible. That's why you got to check the weather sometimes. Question 8. How is climate change likely to affect Philadelphia's future weather? Is it A, hotter summers, B, milder winters, C, heavier rain, or D, all of the above? The answer is D, all of the above. Well, the summers are getting hotter. Now, we haven't hit 106 degrees like the old-time record, but we have more days that are hot, more days above normal. And the nights, they get a lot warmer too. So when you add up the average temperatures, it just keeps getting warmer in Philadelphia and most other places on Earth. The nights, they're getting warmer too. The winters tending to get milder. Look at that, we hardly had any snow at all this past winter. Now the climate changing, that's just one part of it. You get into some weird weather patterns that get stuck. And sometimes you get a lot of snow in some winters, or you get very little snow. So we've been tending to get extremes. We've had some really snowy winters in the last 10 years. But then we had last winter when it was practically nothing. That kind of thing is going to continue in the future. Most years will have not much snow, and then every once in a while, clobbered. Thanks for joining me for our Philly weather quiz. We hope you enjoyed weather education at home with NBC10, Telemundo62, and the Phillies. You can watch all the experiments again anytime on NBC10.com. We'll see you next year at the ballpark.